Welcome to this introductory video on GUIDEM, which stands for Guideline Implementability for Decision Excellence Model. The purpose of this short video is to provide you with a brief introduction of our team and how we developed GUIDEM, and to outline the objectives of the assessment survey study, which we hope you will consider participating in. At the end of this short video, you will be able to click on a button to enroll in the study if you decide to participate. Your consideration in the assessment of GUIDEM would be much appreciated. Now let's begin our video with the overview of how GUIDEM was developed. As a quick backgrounder, the research teams of Dr. Brouwers from McMaster University in Hamilton and Dr. Bhattacharya from St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto merged to develop this model. Building off the work of others investigating guideline implementability, including Drs. Gagliardi, Schoenemann, Schiffman, and Rosenfeld, we started our collaboration by conducting a realist review to better understand the perceived characteristics of guidelines that influence their uptake. Briefly, a realist review is a unique systematic review method that was developed by Dr. Ray Pawson. This method allows for a better understanding of complex interventions by investigating what about the intervention works, for whom, under what circumstances, and why. In our case, we were interested in using this method to find characteristics of guideline implementability and to figure out what aspects of guidelines facilitate their uptake and under what circumstances this happens. We defined guideline implementability as the characteristics of guidelines that influence their use in practice. Our realist review was extensive, as it involved searching the literature across 5 stages. The search began with a set of core articles, followed by expert-identified, PubMed-related articles, and bibliography searching, in addition to articles identified by chance. We did this across multiple disciplines, such as medicine, management, psychology, and human factors engineering. Our search identified over 2,500 articles. In the first level of screening, 2 sets of reviewers independently screened 2,054 abstracts and titles. After eliminating duplicates and non-relevant articles, the same 2 sets of reviewers then screened 448 articles in full text. Of these, 367 articles were identified as relevant and were included in the final realist review. We then extracted relevant outcomes data from these 367 articles, which represented guideline factors that affect their uptake. For example, characteristics such as clarity, format, and evidence. Of note, these characteristics of interest were intrinsic to the guideline itself and not extrinsic. So getting back to our data extraction, we found over 1,700 intrinsic guideline characteristics in total. Through various consensus meetings between our teams, these characteristics were then collapsed into 28 categories. Finally, we organized these 28 categories into 6 broad domains of guideline implementability. We used an innovative online mapping tool called MindMeister to represent the domains visually. Based on feedback from our internal review process, this map represents the overall structure of GUIDEM. Again, this stands for Guideline Implementability for Decision Excellence Model. Each component of the model contains information collected from the realist review. It is this model that we are inviting you to assess through our assessment survey study. The description of GUIDEM will be demonstrated through a video similar to this one, but the feedback questions will be embedded throughout the demonstration. We have developed a dedicated website for GUIDEM, so this video will be directly accessible to you on the site. Following the video demonstration of each section of GUIDEM, you will have the opportunity to pause and reflect on the materials and answer a short set of questions. The specific objectives of the assessment study will be to describe how we conceptualize GUIDEM as a complete model of guideline implementability, followed by a more in-depth look at each of the 6 domains. Periodically, we will also ask you to pause and reflect on certain sections of GUIDEM and to provide your feedback based on your professional experience. This feedback will be collected using both Likert-type scales and open-ended questions. We recommend that you complete the study in one sitting. Thank you very much for your attention to this introductory survey about GUIDEM. We hope you found it informative. If you would like to participate in the survey, Please click on the I'm interested button to begin.